All right, I'm making this video about battle. Well, it's not about battle rap, but it involves battle rap on a certain day. Okay, if you've seen the title of this video and you clicked it, um, the name of the video is going to be called "Why the 12/12 S.M.A.C.K Volume 6 um, Battle Event is a Spiritual Trap." Okay, I have proof about it. Um, So it was something told me what was it, the day before Thanksgiving on Wednesday night. I was just, I rarely, I do a lot of what I do, studying and whatever. But something told me to get into, just because I was in the battle rap heavy, coming up from like 2003, 2004. I had all of the S.M.A.C.K uh, DVDs. So all the people, I'm not a S.M.A.C hater or a S.M.A.C White or Troy Mitchell hater. I'm not a S.M.A.C hater. So I actually know the acronym of the word S.M.A.C. So if you had the DVDs, you pretty much will know what the acronym, what the word S.M.A.C means. It means streets, music, arts, culture, and knowledge. Okay, so that's what S.M.A.C really means. Okay, so if you had the DVD, the lettering would be at the top of the DVD, and it'll also show you what each letter means in the word S.M.A.C. So it's a little history lesson for y'all. So I used to have those DVDs, but I no longer have them, not because I'm a hater or anything. I just, you move around, things just don't make it with you all the time. Okay, so I want to get right into it. No filler, just straight info, hitting you right in the eye and the mouth too. Okay, all right. So this S.M.A.C event will be held on December the 12th, 2020, right? So my source is Wikipedia, and dealing with 144,000 light bringers. So let's get right into it. So, so December the 12th is the S.M.A.C Volume 6 edition, right? The rap battle. And it's gonna be actually a free event to see it, to visually see it on the app. I did. I've been away from battle rap for a while. The last time I really was into it, the last battle I really watched was actually it was almost a year ago when it dropped on YouTube. It was the A Verb and Loaded Lux battle. Okay, so that was one of the last ones I really just watched. But I was really heavy into all the battles. People can play the battles, and I would hear voices, and I would know who exactly it was. So let me get right into it instead of just talking your ear off. I'm just give you the information. So 12 times 12, December the 12th. So anytime you do a month, you do the month by the day. So if it's January, it'd be the 1st. If it's October, it'll be the 10th. October is the 10th month of the year. If it's July, it will be 7/7, July the 7th. So anytime you do some kind of ritual or anything to bring you some type of power, you would take on that day. But 12/12, if you know in Revelation, as you see right here, I wrote everything down, but my source is Wikipedia. So I can talk it to you while and you can always check everything, every subject matter. Any video I come out with, always check so you can back check it and say, hey, you were wrong about this. If I was wrong, I'd rather know what the right information was instead of just having wrong information. Okay, so I don't have an ego like that to the point where I can't learn. So that's my whole thing, is to learn. Um, so if you don't have an ego, you can learn any and everything without an ego. Okay. Okay, 12 times 12 is what? 144. Do the math for you. You can check it on the calculator. So, but 144,000 in Revelation, 144,000 light bringers, not just actual people, but let me show you something too also. Okay, I found what I was looking for. I'm going to hold that towards the end of the video. I'm going to get into Revelation 14:1. First off, before I get started, I'm not a Christian. I don't have a religion. I study all bases. If highly melanated, so-called black people, so-called African American people, or African descended people, where we're actually just highly melanated people. I don't give us a title of an actual continent, because we're actually on every continent, every country. All right, let's get that out the way. So Revelation. So first thing before we get into this, Persia, or the Zoroastrian book, or the Zoroastrian version of the Bible, their revelation was first in the book, and it's a lot. Theirs is a lot older. So. But what we're gonna do is go into the King James version of so we can have Revelation, so everybody can pretty much, just more Christians than anything. So that's what we're gonna do. Go into the book where we get the information from. Okay, let's get it going. Revelation 14:1. Then I looked, and behold, on Mount Zion stood the Lamb, and with him 144,000 who had his name and his father's name written on their foreheads. Okay, remember they said in the 666 will be on the wrist and on the foreheads, right? But 666 is 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons. And all those together in science, or chemistry, or chem S3, is carbon. Carbon is what? Melanin. But the first name for melanin was called occultum. That means that which is hidden. So the Bible, or any type of esoteric book, is that which is hidden, or you have to go inside. To go inside yourself. Okay, it's gonna reveal more about that. So later on when I start speaking. So Mount Zion is what, like the pineal gland stood. On Mount Zion stood the Lamb. The Lamb has what? Kinky hair, or kinky curly hair, and who mainly has that description of hair. Highly melanated, so-called black people, right? Okay, let's keep it going. So it says written on their foreheads, his name and his father's name written on their forehead. You say you'll see 666 on their head, their forehead, and their wrist. Okay, let's keep going. So the number of the beast. So I wanted to make sure I get all the information so it makes total sense. Number of the beast. Mark. Mark is like a birthmark, or your actual color, or the melanin in your skin. Okay, so Revelations 13, 17, and 18. This is 17. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So you can't acquire what's supposed to be given to you. So those are the people that's not of highly melanated descent. Everything on the earth, plants, animals, anything is living has melanin in it. So let's get that out the way. So melanin is divided into everyone, but not the same amount is divided into everyone. So stay with me. Okay. Also, let me interject. I had a thought just now. Remember, so wasn't Drake into King of the Dot? Because I remember the battle with Disaster and DNA. That was the one where he had hosted it. But I have a very good memory. He went to host that battle with the King of the Dot and missed the video for Tony Montana for Future. And Future, he didn't understand why he missed it. And he thought he was going to be there, and he didn't show up, and he was upset with him at that time. But they, of course, ironed it out, talked it out, and made sense of everything. And they went on tour together and made songs, and I think they made an album, I think, together too also. So that's in the past. But that was the King of Dot. If you watch that battle, Drake is there. He was supposed to be I think I forgot the name of the country he was in, and he shot the video Tony Montana, and he wasn't there. Okay, so let's keep going. Well, we at number 18. Okay, so I said that in order to show you, he left King of the Dot, which is predominantly Caucasoid or Caucasian dominated league. So URL is the biggest league because is mainly of the highly melanated or so-called black people in that league, and is highly aggressive, and aggressiveness brings attention. Okay, so number 18, this is verse 18. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Now I come to find out that wasn't the original number of the beast. The original number, I'm going to tell you right now. But remember, I told you earlier, I don't want to lose you, was 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. That means balance. Higher is the protons. Middle is neutral, neutrons, and the lower is electrons, electrons. Like if you go and watch like the elections, you're electing. That means you're giving power to have someone chosen. So that means you're giving. That means it's going away from you. Okay. So, and that power is being taken from you because you're actually electing someone, electing to give someone power. Okay. Remember, everything in English, you can always look at the little words and make sense of everything. Okay. So, I'm going to tell you where and where you can find the original number of the beast. Okay, the original number of the beast was 616, but 6 plus 1 is 7, 7 plus 6 is 13. And if you go into the book of let's see, so if you go into the book of the law by Aleister Crowley, I'm going to show you 418. So we're in the book of the law, right? So the perfect and the perfect are one. The perfect and the perfect are one perfect and not two. Nay, are none. Nothing is a secret key of this law. 61, the Jews call it. I call it 880, 418. 418. 4 plus 1 is 5. 5 plus 8 is 13, right? But I found out 61 equals God in Hebrew. So 418. I write everything down and I make my notes. So, but they have the half. Unite by thine art, so that all disappear. Okay? So, I'm going to get into that more. It actually intertwines. So, remember how we just saw 61 in Hebrew equals God. So you're going to see, as we know, Drake is half Jewish and half so-called black. All right. So right here, as I showed you before, that was the original number, 616 equals 13. That was on the papyrus. Papyrus is paper. Papyrus was the original name for paper. in Kemet, or what they call nowadays Egypt. So 418 and 616 both equals 13. And so if you have King Arthur in the round table, he has 12 knights, and he in the one in the center, that's your mind. You have 12 zodiac, and you have the spider in the center. So you're supposed to be all 12, but the one in the middle controls all. So all the months you go through, and all the zodiacs you go through, you have to become all those in order to become the perfect, or the best version of yourself. Okay, so let's keep going from there. All right. You can call it the Hadit point, Hadit point, Point, or pretty much just that dot in the middle is looked at as the pineal gland. Okay, I'm gonna get into. Remember, I told you about that book. I'm gonna show you what I was talking about too. Also, I'm gonna make sure I have good time with this too. Also, revelation in religion and theology is the act of revealing through communication with supernatural entities, and you can find all this on Wikipedia. Okay, Steve Moise. This is an actual person that actually deals with religion and theology. Steve Moise uses the index of the United Bible Societies, Greek New Testament, to show that Revelation contains more Old Testament allusions than any other New Testament book, but it does not record a single quotation. All right. So now think about this. If it doesn't, like, I'm gonna go back and read that part again, so you understand where I'm coming from. Uses the index of the United Bible Society's Greek New Testament. So remember, Greek was like they had a lot of things taken from Egypt or Kemet, and used it, like Plato or all these different philosophers. They went to school in Egypt, or what I would call Kemet. Kemet means the land of the black face. Just as the same thing as Egypt, Egypticos, because the sun burns you, or the sunburn, you get darker. Same thing, just in different languages. All right. So the Greek New Testament, to show that Revelation contains more Old Testament allusions than any other New Testament book. Remember, the Hebrews, they always say Old Testament is the true book, and New Testament, that's just the falsehood. But remember, I'm going to show you in Persia or Zoroastrian. You can always look these up. Persia, the first book they ever wrote in their book, or their version of the Bible, was what? Revelation. So if you're always looking towards the end of the book, looking forward to Revelation, you'll never see it around you, but it's always been around, and it's always been transforming around us. So that's how you gotta look at. That's how you trick the mind. If you're always looking forward to something, you're always looking forward to it. It's always future wise. But what if it was already around you and you never really knew that? So that's why I'm showing you 12/12 on that day is a very powerful day. Okay, remember I said before, Drake signed a deal with caffeine and URL TV.tv. Okay, and it's gonna be a free event. Nothing is ever free in life. Okay, it's free for a reason, to get your attention. I found the name Dahaka. Okay, and I put this in parentheses from Persia. Dahaka has an original. Persia has an original revelation. Okay, book of Revelation. It's like I just said just now. I found the name Dahaka means dragon. Dragon, Leviathan. You can find Leviathan in Revelation, right? You can find dragon in every story, in everywhere. Asia, England, um, Ireland, all these different places. You can find the dragon. Now, we're going to get into it more, though. We're going to break it down more. A Leviathan, the seven-headed dragon, or seven main chakras in the body. So remember, we talked about at the beginning of the video, um, this is all spiritual books, or not just mainly something like history. It's something esoteric, something that's going on the inside of your body, right? Okay, then. So if they talking about the seven-headed dragon, or seven, pretty much means seven main chakras in the body. So Leviathan is what? The snake, or Absu. If you look at the Necronomicon, Absu, or Cthulhu, um, um, the dragon or the snake that's not dead but sleeping, and it needs to be awakened. So I'm going to get into it. I'm going to the next page. All right. So Revelation 13, Revelation 13 verse 1. John saw it rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy, which will be what? The beast. On what? On his head. We said, where does it say? Upon his heads the name of blasphemy, or Satan is the beast, same thing, or the light bringer, Lucifer, same thing. It's all about how you look at it. It was like, now this is what they're describing the dragon as, or Leviathan as. It was like a leopard with feet like the feet of a bear, and had a mouth like a lion. So these are all animals that are placed in that area. So they're going to use the zoo type of what's around them. Okay, so two beasts. Okay, two beasts. So remember, this is esoteric, talking about the inside and the outside too. Two beasts. The first beast out of the sea, and is given authority and power by the dragon. The dragon is what? On the inside of you. Okay, on the inside. Something you can't see. First, remember that when you get hungry, your stomach starts to growl. That's the beast, or that dragon is waking up. You remember when Math Hoffa punched Sirius Jones in the face? He said, "I didn't eat all day," and he was like, he was tripping. He was like, "Woo!" and he punched him in the face. Yeah, trust me, I've been around battle rap for a long time. Trust me, I know this. Okay, first Revelation 11:7. 7:11 is the numbers of magic. That's funny too. You can check that out. The first appearance of the first beast. The first beast you can find 11-7. That's the description of it. The appearance you can find Revelation. Find it in Revelation 13, 1 through 10. And the mystery of the appearance, you can find it in Revelation 17, 7 through 18. Okay, so you can go check these for yourself. The second beast out of the earth, and directs all peoples of the earth to worship the first beast. So what that means, when esoterically, it's a lot of things you have to break down. They would hide things. The occult means that which is hidden. So they saying that is the beast. The second beast is out of the earth. So the first beast is on the inside of you. The second beast is your physical body. It came out of the earth, which is what? The physical, and directs peoples of the earth to worship the first beast. Okay, if you worship the first beast, you're not supposed to worship a god outside yourself. You're supposed to worship yourself. It's different deities, like thousands and thousands of deities around the world. Those are energies. I don't worship those deities. Those are versions of myself, and I'm only giving them power. That means I'm only giving myself power. But right here, remember it said the first beast. That means if I'm learning about these deities, the first beast out of the sea and is given authority and power by what? The dragon or the snake on the inside. Remember the snake in the Garden of Eden? Yeah, that was Lilith. Lilith was the snake and Eve. So Lilith is the darkness. I don't want to lose you, but you can always look up these names. Lilith, Lilith. You know, she was the snake and she was Eve at the same time in order to trick Adam in order for him to get knowledge from the tree of knowledge. And the apple is Doth. Doth is where your highest form of melanin is. But you know, Drake ain't gonna tell you that. He studies the Kabbalah. The Kabbalah tells you all about that. You know what I'm saying? So hit him up on his Instagram or all of that. Whatever the shit is, Champagne Poppy or whatever. Ask him what is Doth and see what he really says about it. He probably won't say nothing about it. Tell him you watched volume 6 of S.M.A.C.K and see what he says. All right, it's just, hey, let's keep it real. If he ain't keeping it real, don't fuck with him. You know what I mean? I'm serious about this. I study this stuff. Okay, and he ain't gonna put this in his songs. He keep y'all disillusioned and keep y'all unknowing. Okay, but I'm gonna keep y'all up to par and keep y'all abreast. That means keep y'all knowing. Gnosis. That means the knowing. All right. The two beasts are aligned with the dragon in opposition to God. And God wants to keep you down and keeps you and God wants to keep you not knowing. Remember, why did God kick Adam and Eve out of the Garden of Eden? Because they ate the apple, because they wanted to know and learn but what did God say? Thou shalt not have no other God before me. But in the same book, he said, the face of God is the face of pineal, the pineal gland. That's where you sit, like the spark on the Transformers. That's your spark. That's where you sit at. That's the seat of God. That's who you are. But he said, "Don't thou shalt have no other God before me." He's talking about you. He don't want you to rise up. So God is forever your enemy while you on this earth, because he's gonna keep bringing you back. If you're a so-called black person, so-called African American person with a high proportion of melanin, you have a soul. White people don't have souls. I'm telling you the truth. They don't have soul. They don't have to come back here. You do got to come back if you a so-called black person, because you got soul. If you got a soul, that means if you don't do what you're supposed to do on your path, you got to come back. So that's why he's able to control you, so you won't get any knowledge. If you don't get any knowledge, how can you become the best version of yourself? Remember the movie, the one with Jet Li? He said, "I am the one," because he killed all those other versions of himself to become the best version of himself. That means he became the strongest version of himself. That means a deity, the highest version of himself, or a so-called God. Okay, I'm here to destroy and kill God. God doesn't want you to become the best version of yourself. Remember that. God hates you. He said, I'm the God of the living, not the dead. But if people saying I'm gonna go to heaven when I die, so that means he don't love you. That means you're gonna come right back to this motherfucker again. Keep it real with yourself, man. This scripture stuff, you gotta break it down, because it's all riddles. It's all riddles. You gotta look into it and take your time. Take your time. This is your soul. I'm not here to save your soul. I'm here to give you the information so you can save your own soul. Remember that. You the one to make the choices. You the one to make the choices in order for you to move on with your soul and to go to higher heights. All right. In opposition to God. Let's keep it going. Side note: Drake signs a deal with URL and caffeine on 2/11. You can check this on online on Google. February 11th, 2020. Right. 2/11. What? It's a robbery. Wasn't he with the King of the Dot? You can look up on 2015 when that battle with DNA and Disaster happened. Come on, man. He was a partner with KOTD. Now he said, okay, now I want to get. He said back then they said the man Drake, but now they say I looked up the article with URL and Drake, it says the boy Drake. You know what I'm saying? Like it's different when they say the man. He was with KOTD, with his mainly all Caucasians, Caucasoids, so-called white people. And then when he get with the melanated people, so-called black people, he becomes the boy. Come on, man. We gotta look at wording. Wording is everything. People gonna run games with you with wording. Okay, okay. So let's keep it going. Drake has a line saying, "I went to church and I'm not even Christian." Okay, yeah, he's Jewish and so-called black, right? So he studies the what? The Torah. Ra is what? The sun, that is God. So he's working to what? Keep the people that's um into battle rap, that's highly melanated. A lot of melanated people, so a lot of so-called black people is into URL. It's white people too that's into it too, but that's who is mainly on the platform rapping. Mainly black people, so-called black people, highly melanated people. So if that's the case, he actually don't give a fuck about you. He's actually really putting you under a spell. Why is the event free? Nothing is ever free. No event is ever free. But 12/12 is what? A powerful day. I remember watching Daylight on Hip Hop Is Real. Israel, Isis, Ra, and El. Isis is the woman, Ra is the god, and El is what? Is Horus or Heru, because he becomes after his father. So Israel, Hip Hop Is Real, Daylight, he said, oh yeah, there's an event coming up on 12/12, right? He said, yeah, there's an event. Then I watched um, what was it? With Uncle Ra. He was interviewing Goods, because Goods got a battle against who? Geechee Gotti. Geechee is the people in South Carolina that's from what? From Africa, or the Haitians, or however you want to put it. They're the people on that coast. The Geechees from that coast all the way down to Florida. So that whole coast got the Geechees on there. So everything I'm seeing, you can look up. There's no fabrication. I kept, like what Luck said, we kept the file. We kept the file. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. I'm trying to get through this information so I won't run out of time. He studies the Torah. Ra is God. Okay. This event, or if you want to look at Ramadan in Muslims, the Bible in Greek means Helios Biblios, means the sun book. Okay, same thing. Let me get to the end. The event can be watched free. That is to get as many eyes watching and clueless of to what's really going on. Okay, I told you I do a study. The Goetia, the lesser key of Solomon the king. There's 72 Goetia. 72 times 10 is 144, right? So look, there's 72 Goetia total, right? 72. You got the seals and everything. You can look them up yourself. All right. It's the 72nd. That's the last spirit, right? 72 times 2 is 144. So the Goetia